What's up, everybody? It's Chad. I'm back again with another episode of Ask Chad Grassy Logic. I'm here today with my buddy Josh from Dutch Bliss. Do you go by Dutch Bliss or Dutch Bliss Ice Cream?
It's Dutch Bliss,
Okay,
Rosin Flute
cool.
Ice Cream. Yeah.
Awesome, cool. I just wanted to make sure I get that right. He's joining me today remotely. Unfortunately, he couldn't join me today. Got a little sick this week, but it happens. But he's still he's still here with me today to share with you guys about what he does, and I'm actually really excited because this is something that I haven't had on my show, and something you really don't see in the industry nationwide, really, and especially here in New Mexico. So, Josh, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Cool, man. Great. I'm glad you're here. For some reason, it's like you're a little light. I don't know if like you moved away from the speaker or something.
Hmm.
A
Let me
little
get a
quiet
little
there.
closer. It
There
might
we
not.
go. Perfect.
So,
All
yeah.
right. So we'll just jump right into it. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself? How long you've been in the cannabis industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Have definitely been a part of the cannabis culture, shoot, longer than I should be, right? And
Like all of us.
yeah, and took a little journey along the way to get me here. But been doing this for about 2.5 years now in the cannabis industry, and just feel honestly so honored and blessed to be able to share some unique products with New Mexico.
Awesome, dude. No, I'm excited too because this is something that I haven't really seen, and especially the way that you're going about it. It's not just like a tub of ice cream. We'll get more of that. That's a little bit of teaser for you guys. But first, before the show, we were talking, and come to find out, both of us used to work for Apple.
Oh yeah.
Could you expand a little bit on that? Explain a little. I mean, even your degree thing. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, so my background, is in computer science. From my education standpoint, really never got to dive too much into that aspect of my career because shoot, back in 2020 when the world kind of shifted on us, decided to really take my journey into my passion, which has always been cannabis. But yeah, spent a good amount of time like Chad over in the Apple retail setting. Was working in New Jersey as a genius bar, a genius, I guess, is what the title was. That's interesting. Yeah.
It is an interesting title. And the geniuses or the guys at the Genius Bar in Hawaii, they were interesting. They like to troll a lot and play
Yep.
jokes. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's everywhere.
I would say I think that's across the company culture.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like I got to spend time working in stores in New Jersey, New York, and in New Mexico as well, briefly in Albuquerque. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so yeah, dry humor, trolling on some customers, right?
Yeah,
Definitely,
or even
definitely.
me, the new guy. They sent me
Oh
an
yeah,
adult film star, an old one, and she was really cranky, and I didn't know who or what, and I just was thrown into the fire, and it was a little.
yeah.
I came back and I was like, "What the hell was that?" And they just started laughing. I was like, "These assholes did it on purpose."
Set you up for sure.
It was funny though. It was funny.
You got
All
to
in good
take
fun
the
and
new
everything.
guy into just the lifestyle there, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was. I loved it. I loved working for Apple. We both talked that it was a good gig, but
Oh yeah.
I have a degree in IT as well, or in computers as well, and I haven't used it yet. I use it every now and then, and people are like, "Hey, can you fix my printer?"
Yep.
But that's about it.
Yep.
But here we are in the cannabis industry, so that's great. So what made you shift from working with Apple and in technology and computers and move over to the cannabis side solely?
What honestly kind of shifted me that way was just kind of realizing, what do you want to spend your time doing? And I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Back in high school, I was playing in bands and realized that merchandise was how you made the money there, right? And then I've always had that kind of drive to build something from the ground up. And then I think that realizing that I had a talent in the kitchen with food and, being able to use food and there's definitely ways to turn that into something viable for a business and that's what led me here.
Nice. And so you said you've been doing this for about 2 years now on the cannabis side?
Absolutely.
Dang. And
Mhm.
you're making strides, and everything, and your product looks great. So how long have you been like making the actual ice cream? Has it been that 2 years?
I'd say probably maybe like 6 months before that 2 years. I was playing around in the kitchen. I love ice cream. It was during the pandemic. Had a lot of time to just what do you do?
Yeah, right.
Whipped out the old ice cream machine, whipped out some old family recipes, modified it a little bit. Some can of sugar might have found its way in there, right? There you
And that was the start of something beautiful. That's great.
go.
I love hearing stories like that, and especially the COVID stories where your life shifted dramatically into something beautiful.
Mhm.
Due to it, and I've heard that story many times, and I'm kind of it's sad that it happened, but at the same time, for some people, it changed their life for the better. And it showed them that there's other stuff that they can do, like yourself. So that's great that something good came from it. So your business, let's talk about that. So it's very unique to New Mexico because you make cannabis infused ice cream, and that's something I haven't really seen in the state at all, especially about the way you're going about it. So tell us a little bit about Dutch Bliss.
Yeah, no, Dutch Bliss has been a lot of fun. I think it's been well received here in New Mexico. Was once the recreational market hit and I had my license, I just kind of hit the ground running there and seeing who'd want to take the chance on this product and see how their customers might respond to it. And so far, positive feedback. So I can't ask for anything more there. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. Because I mean, we're so used to the edibles where it's gummies, suckers, chocolate, even drinks. Which that's a cool little change, or shakes and stuff. But
Yep.
you add the ice cream in there, and that's a whole different ball game.
Hmm.
So what made you like want to want to infuse it at this point? Was it just the experiments that you did back in 2020, or was it the fact that you
Yeah.
experimented and saw something from it?
Yeah, I mean, once I did that, I love ice cream. So that's what led me to making some ice cream. I love weeds. So of course I'm going to put some in there if I can, right? And honestly, I was blown away personally just by how fast the onset was compared to other edibles that I'd eaten at that point.
Hmm.
And I was like, wow, there's something here to this. And you know, it's ice cream, it's the thing that makes people happy. Same with cannabis, right? So it just kind of all clicked for me, and yeah, that's kind of what led to it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that that happened. That's just so funny how everything had to kind of fall into place into it. But to be where
Yep.
we are, and
Hmm.
it's really cool because it's something that we've always wanted. And to be honest, what took so long? you know. Yeah, yeah. We had to wait for the one guy to have a a whole life changing experience.
Yeah, right.
So, do you know anybody else that's doing the same or similar as you right now?
Yeah, recently I discovered, and they just came to market with it, that Phyto Remedies Lab is making a cannabis infused ice cream, and honestly, I'm flattered by that. Just seeing that, now there's other people that, think this is a good idea and they want to give a shot at it, that's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, every recipe is going to taste a little bit different. So, you
Yep.
have the Dutch Bliss flavor, you're going to have these other company flavors. So, that's
Hmm.
great. Like you go to the store and you have different brands of ice cream all over the place. I mean, it's going to be the same thing in the cannabis world. And you
Hmm.
started something that's cool.
Well, it's really funny to me. I was talking with one of my friends the other day about it. And they just brought up the point. They're just like, isn't it kind of like crazy that like you don't really see cannabis infused ice cream anywhere else in the country, at least like you do here in New Mexico. Partially thanks to Dutch Bliss, and so it's interesting now that we're gonna have multiple brands of ice cream to choose from at the dispensaries in this little state we have. That's fun.
No, that is. There's going to be people sneaking in, tubs of, edible ice cream into the movie theaters.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that sounds like a good time to me, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And
So, for your ice cream, where do you get like the extracts for it? The oils and everything, or what do you
yes.
use?
So Dutch Bliss is, it's a rosin infused ice cream brand. So
Cool.
we're always infusing with rosin for Dutch Bliss, and been very fortunate to work with a lot of great people here. As far as where we're sourcing our extracts from. Um, Really huge shout out to Z Labs, absolutely, and the Taz Mountain Buds. Really great guys. Definitely thankful to be able to work with their rosin and some really unique products with it. Actually have some really cool collaborations with a few new folks as well. We should be seeing some special flavors coming out with Sawmill and with Green Fuego as well.
Okay, shout out.
Shout out, absolutely. And I know that the Green Fuego rosin is from couch lock extracts, which I'm excited to get to work with that
They,
rosin as well.
yeah, they have some
Really,
really good rosin.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, work with and, we work with E37, Verde, so really Dutch Bliss, all inclusive. We love working with everyone, and really thankful, for the opportunity to work with some of the best products in the state.
Nice. Yeah, no, and I'm happy for you too because those are really, really great extracting companies. They
Yeah.
really put out some good stuff. I know Z Labs won the Hash and Headies a couple months ago.
Hmm.
I got to try some of their rosin a few times, and I've enjoyed it. So I'm great. It's great that you're working with those people, giving more people a chance, and working with several. So
Hmm.
is there any plans of kind of expanding that with like different farms or more companies, or you kind of just seeing where it kind of everything sets?
Yeah, always open to check out new product and see kind of, what works. I mean, there's so many flavors out there and especially making edibles, the terpenes are everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, like a sherbet with like a tangy. Oh man.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I just thought of
Absolutely.
that.
Oh, absolutely. I think we recently smelt a really nice jar of deluxe sherb, so hoping to do something with that soon here. Yeah.
Well, how many flavors are you working with, currently right now then?
Currently at the moment, I think I have, yeah, three different and about to have five in the refrigerator. Yeah.
Okay, so you got and I'm sure that's going to expand only in time. I mean,
Hmm.
finding those perfect terps to go with it, it goes really deep. I mean,
Yes.
been growing cannabis, for 10 years. I'm a flower guy, so I'm like, oh yeah, it smells good, tastes good. But once you go into the rosin, and then even with you, it goes even further. Because some guys that search for rosin, they're looking for a particular plant. They're looking for particular, glandular head on the trichomes.
Hmm.
They're looking for all kinds of things. And so,
Yes.
like even yourself, now it goes past that. Now you're looking for the particular rosin with the certain flavors and
Yeah.
smells, and I'm excited to see where that goes because like some of these rosins coming out, the flavors are just fantastic, and match
Yes.
that with a really good ice cream. I mean, it's just how can you beat that?
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. I mean, shoot, I would love to get to the point and working on getting to a point where we can just have a strain specific ice cream line, just a separate series, and would love to have no other flavoring but the terpenes from the rosin in that.
Oh, dude.
Mhm.
Wow, you're onto something there. Yeah, that sounds like something great. Like just my mouth's watering just thinking about it.
Mhm.
That's pretty dope. Do you have any plans of like any expansion kind of stuff, or what's your plan? What's the future for for Dutch Bliss?
Yeah, so at the moment, really, just seeking to gain more, retail clients here in New Mexico and just keep it going here. But I think long-term vision would love to have the brand, expand outside of state. It started here, but I really do see an opportunity to bring this product to other markets. I mean, we've spoken with folks in California that are just like, rosin infused ice cream. Like we don't even have that. So
Right.
yeah.
And yeah, that's a whole nother level because when you mention the rosin, people
Hmm.
that smoke rosin or have smelled rosin, smoke rosin, know what it is. They're like, wait, that might be tasty. Like the
Yes.
flavors in it. It's
There's
like,
actually
oh,
some flavor here left behind. Yeah.
yeah. There's like, oh, there's a secondary. What about custards or anything? Are you thinking of experimenting with like different types of ice creams and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned custards because the recipe for Dutch Bliss I advertise as ice cream, but it is technically a frozen custard.
And I love custard.
Yeah.
If you're ever down here in Cruces, come and check out Calichi's. They're
Yes.
really good custard. I don't know if you've had it
Mhm.
before.
I
Um,
have, absolutely delicious.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is delicious. So yeah,
Hmm.
I was just thinking of that. I'm like, ooh, okay, even better.
Hmm. Yeah, no, Dutch Bliss. We use lots of eggs. I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, well, and speaking of, I'd actually like to see like an infused ice cream sandwich. That's like something that like I really want to see in the future. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm really into that one
Oh, really?
particular. Yeah. It's,
I mean, Yeah, man. I mean, it could be one of those things that could be good or bad in the future. And it's just one of those things that maybe one day, it could be. Yeah,
Audience for that one. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So
Mm.
yeah, who knows? Maybe one day we'll figure it out, and someone will do an ice cream sandwich. But if it's not for you, it happens,
Yeah, it
man.
happens.
So we'll see. Well, that's great, man. And I love to see that you have this great innovation, and you have this imagination with it that goes with it too. There's so much that I didn't even think of to do that you thought of, and it's great. And I love seeing that this expansion and everything. And I'm sure you can probably only take this to as far as your own limits of imagination can take it. I'm really curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. I think there definitely is a lot of potential, and shoot, we have a lot on the way that I think everyone's going to be excited about for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
be excited about it too. Well, where can people find Dutch Bliss and everybody on the internet or social media?
Yeah, on Instagram we're at dutchbliss.official. You could also find me on the web at thefresh with two h's.com. That would be the website. Shoot, when you scan the QR code on your jar, it will get you to the nutrition facts page there. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, so you can see everything. If you're tracking your sugars and stuff, be
Tracking
wary. It's
research,
ice cream.
see your lab analysis. It's all there. Absolutely.
Awesome. And I'm glad a lot of people are moving to the QR code thing when it comes to that because there's so much that has to go on that little label that it's almost
Yeah,
impossible to put everything.
I was trying to just fit the text they wanted and realized with the size that I could apply to what the format I'm working on. It just was the only way to do it right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Glad they let
100%.
us do it. Honestly.
Me too. It only makes sense, allow technology to kind of thrive. In the industry too, in some sort.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But but yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited for you to continue the conversation with these other topics, but I'm glad we got a chance to talk about Dutch Bliss, where you guys are going, what kind of products you guys have. I'm really excited to, see what is going to come from these ice cream, and maybe one day we'll see an ice cream sandwich from someone else, who knows. So thank you again for joining me, Josh. And yeah, let's continue the conversation. So next, I'm going to be talking about something that's kind of unpopular with some people, and only because they see it as boring, or they don't want to do it, or they don't see it as something that you need. Insurance for your cannabis business. It's kind of important for some. Do you know anybody that uses insurance for their cannabis business? I mean, be it retail or grow or et cetera.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice, yeah. And do they say anything like, does it help, this and that? Because like I kind of feel the way that the cannabis industry runs, it kind of would help you because there's not a lot that the government allows us to do.
That's correct. And in a lot of instances for any business, right, there are things that come up, and having insurance for that, situation is just a good safety plan, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. And the reason why I bring it up is because it seems like more and more companies are kind of start to come online, or come to the green side, and starting to work with the cannabis businesses a little bit more,
Mhm.
and that's great. And I guess recently a bunch of expos around the state have been showcasing these insurance companies, and trying to get businesses to buy the insurance. Which, to be honest, in a case like this, I feel that it would only help you, not hurt you, because if you get robbed, that's something that it covers. Like say we've all seen it online. Those guys come with a truck and plow your door open and take everything on the inside, and then next thing you know, you got to close your doors because you have no product and you have no money.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's one of those things that I kind of noticed, and I was like, huh. So I think it's a good time for us to talk about it again, because I actually had someone on for insurance a couple months ago, but it's something that's kind of reoccurring, and I'm trying to just raise awareness that this is something that you probably should have as a cannabis establishment and business, along with the other things that help you out. I mean, like, what are your thoughts, on it and everything?
On cannabis insurance.
Yeah, I mean, so far, like, what are your thoughts, like, like personally, what are your thoughts? Because I know I asked you about people that have it, but what are your thoughts, really?
Oh yeah, my thoughts, truly are that it really could only benefit you to be holding that insurance policy, because you never know what's going to come up, and being prepared is the only way to stay relevant, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
And if you can't buy more product because you got robbed because you're just barely getting by, that could be the nail of the coffin, for some businesses, a lot of businesses right now, because, if you look at the sales, some places are barely making $10,000 to $20,000, a month with sales. And, if they have to cough up 10 grand that they don't have, then I might put them out of business if they can't, recuperate somehow. So this insurance, not just this insurance, but the insurance that, a lot of these companies are offering covers that. They cover theft, they cover, loss of your, crop, I guess some of them do, if something happens, natural disaster, because that could be detrimental. If you're growing outdoors, you get one shot that year. And if something happens, that's it. You don't have any other shot.
That's it for the year. And so if you have a policy that can help you out there, and I hadn't even thought of it on the outdoor grow side, but if there's policies that cover that situation happening, that's amazing.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And with the feds and everything, maybe changing things here soon. Be it Schedule 3 or if we go unscheduled, which we all know we really want and need unscheduling. But both of those will actually allow more insurance companies to work with us, which is a good thing. But at the same point in time, we would just want it off of scheduling altogether. But that's another thing we need to think about. So it might be a good time for a lot of places that don't have insurance to kind of start thinking about it, because that could be a requirement once the federal government gets involved. So you might as well get ahead of the curve and, help yourself in the long run too, because you're only going to help yourself with, having insurance like this, because getting robbed is a real thing that can happen. It's happened here in New Mexico. The places have been robbed. It happens all the time.
I have friends, for sure. Unfortunately, it does happen.
Mm-hmm. And their favorite way of getting in is busting windows. So, not only are you out of product, now you got to replace that window.
That window, it's a mess.
Yeah, it's a huge old mess. So, and I really wanted to let people know that if you're in the Las Cruces area, I actually do have somebody who does insurance. Her name is Rachel, but she also goes by Raquel. I'm going to pop her up right here. This is her Instagram. You can go check her out. She does do insurance for, the cultivators, the retail. If you're curious if she does insurance for your business, say your ancillary, give her a call. Maybe she does. She probably will. She's very knowledgeable. She works really hard, and she's really willing to help you guys out. The reason why I'm bringing this up and I'm plugging my friend here is because the fact that a lot of people are going to need insurance, and I'm going to get questions. Hey, do you know somebody that sells insurance? And so to mitigate those questions, I'm giving you guys an answer right now for future references to let you guys know that this is where one of the places where you can go for insurance without having to ask me or running around thinking. So if you watch the show, congratulations, you got a free tip today. So thank you, Rachel. I call her Rachel Raquel. For allow me to share your information today. It's going to help hopefully some retail establishments that maybe go through some hardship or something happens. Like I like to say, shit happens. But that's all I have for insurance. Well, what about you? Anything else do you want to share on that?
Really nothing I could think of at the moment. Great job covering it. I mean, but definitely an important topic to cover for sure.
Heck yeah. I just wanted to make sure I gave somebody an actual agent they can call instead of saying, hey, you need insurance, good luck. At least, they at least get one person they can start off with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as you were saying, more and more people popping up. Was at the Lucky Leaf convention last weekend, and I was glad to see the insurance reps out.
Yeah, because like myself as a grower, I love seeing the grow light companies there. I love seeing the RO companies there, but the insurance companies, I actually do like seeing them there because it shows that the industry is getting more support.
Correct. Getting more support, more sophisticated, more like a traditional business as it should be, right?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And things are slowly changing, but they're also changing quickly at the same time. So it's good. But yeah, that's all I had about the insurance thing, tax thing. That's what I'm talking about next. The insurance thing. So we're going to move on, and I'm just going to touch briefly about this because it's interesting. So Eddy County, if you guys don't know, Eddy County is one of the counties here in New Mexico. They released some tax information, and I want to share this with some of you because a lot of people are like, "Oh, where's the taxes going? Blah blah blah." I don't even know how much we're getting. So here's a comparison. So Eddy County in New Mexico received $2,792 of excise tax from the state, and I believe that's excise tax every month that they get. That's not just overall through the year.
Monthly payment.
Excuse me?
That's what they're getting monthly from
Yeah,
them.
it's pretty much what they're getting monthly, and you know it fluctuates, of course. And if you guys don't know, Eddy County hosts Carlsbad, or has Carlsbad. That's the county's biggest city. So it's eastern New Mexico near Texas.
Yep.
And so the tax and revenue income that they collect through the taxation, the primary source of the government revenue is taxation, obviously. So this is straight from an article that I read, and it said that the states altogether have generated about 15 billion in adult use tax, which is crazy from 2014 to last year. So that's quite a bit of money, and that's kind of around the predictions that they said. This industry is going to be worth billions of dollars. However, right now there's no plans for Eddy County on what they're going to spend the funds on. And I guess they voted and they weren't sure what to do with it, so they kind of put a pause on it to figure it out. That's kind of what I got a gist from it. And that kind of sucks because it could be used for schools or something like that. Instead they want to kind of pull back, and and what I'm sure what happened is there's these other outside entities wanting some of the money, like be it police, be it, the city, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know about you or your experience with the taxes, up there, and you're in Bernalillo, right?
I'm in Sandoval. Yep.
Sandoval, okay, yeah. So I don't know how they are like in Sandoval or anything, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's interesting to see, this going on in Eddy County, and the way them actually being very transparent with this, and letting us know how much they're getting, and the whole industry
I
is
do
pretty
like that they're
transparent.
just like, we don't know what to do with it right now. We got to think about it. Maybe they have a lot of people kind of discussing or kind of making their case for why they need these funds at the moment. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And it says, here's a quote, as it was never expected to receive a significant amount. So I think that's the reason why, on top of that too. Not the only reason, but they just weren't expecting to get that much. And now they're kind of like, well, what do we do with it? And I'm sure they have other people, well, I want it, well, I want it, I want it. So
Sure.
we'll see where it goes. Hopefully somewhere good, somewhere that can
It's
benefit the city.
the way, personally.
What's up?
I really would like to see it go to education. Really, truly.
Oh, me too, 100%. My parents were teachers, so yeah, we need a lot more funding when it comes to schooling and education and everything.
But
So I'm with you on that one.
yep, 100%.
Yeah, education's important. It's the
Yeah,
future,
it's
and
the
if our kids
future.
aren't educated,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Good
So,
opportunity.
oh, 100%. So I'm gonna explain, the way this cannabis distribution works. Oop, Sorry, I've got to close something. Oh, he's going to plug something in real quick. Sorry about that. But the way it works is I guess it's similar to gratuity. Sales from one month are reported by the 25th of the following month, and then distribution happens another month after that. So it's like a month late almost.
Yep.
So yeah, this does happen every month, but they stop it at the 25th. I'm thinking the reason for that is because every month has a 25th, and not every month has a 30 or a 31st.
Makes
Um,
sense.
so that kind of makes sense, and they probably adds up somehow, and equals out in the end.
Yeah.
So there was a total of $376,000 of cannabis sold in that area. So that's quite a bit, and they generated $20 million in Carlsbad, and I believe the 376 because the article itself. I think there was a typo. It didn't say the tax. I'm just taking that as tax because it says they generated 21 million and then they get the 376. So I have no clue where it's going. There might have been a little thing on that, and I was even confused. I was like, "Wait, what do you mean by that?" So I want to let everybody know the reason why that sounds weird is because it came straight from the article, and I didn't want to like change anything or put my own wording. But that's what the article said. It is a little confusing. But one of the stats that says combined sales in Artesia were 2.5 million with 47,000 transactions, and Artesia's not too far from Carlsbad, so that's actually surprising too. Like there's Gino. Hey, there's a face reveal.
That's funny.
So yeah, I
And
just
it's
wanted to.
interesting to see that amount because I think it wasn't too long ago that Artesia didn't even have the dispensary.
Yeah, I think you're right. To be honest, like I haven't like been to Artesia like in it since like high school when we played football there.
Yeah, I was there right at the beginning of rec when I was making delivery to Carlsbad, and was just like, oh, I've never seen this town before. Let's see if there's a dispensary, and there were none. And then maybe like took another like 6 or 8 months. But
Holy crap!
yeah. Mhm.
I wonder how many they have there. You know, I'll probably look at that later, that stat. Or if you guys know, put
I
it in the
know there's a
comments.
Pecos Valley. That was the first one that popped up there, and I'm not sure if there is anyone else over there. There might be now.
Yeah, huh? Interesting. I'll have to look. Sometimes I just get curious to see, you know, what's where or what. You know, like even check my hometown, see how many dispensaries are there. Which there's a lot, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of dispensaries everywhere right now.
Oh shoot!
Um,
I was looking at the overall list today, and it's like,
right? You're like, oh my god. um,
it's
what's up?
like 600 or so. Yeah.
Something like that, dude. I haven't looked at the numbers in a while, but I'll have to look again to see where they're at because it looked like they're kind of going down a little bit,
Yeah.
retail wise, which is good. Unfortunate for the people that closed. Yeah, so I'll backtrack a little bit. I guess we were talking about Eddy County and some taxes and stuff, and how they're kind of
Mhm.
going about it and putting it out there. So it's great. It goes along the lines of what's called the Cannabis was it Regulation Fund, and it was created
Yep.
when we passed the law and everything like that. And oh, hang on, I'm letting Gino get in here real fast. And it consists of appropriations, gifts, grants, donations, fees collected by the department as the Cannabis Regulation Act and the Medical Cannabis Program. So yeah, and so I guess in this case, which is weird. So I don't know what's really going to happen. It says this from the law. It says any unexpected or unencumbered balance remaining at the end of the fiscal year shall revert to the general fund noted in the law. So it kind of
Sounds
sucks
like we
because
have the clock ticking to figure out how to use this money, right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Back? Okay, cool. I think we're gonna be back to the old way now. All right. All right, we're back. Cool. All right, that was a pretty smooth transition, by the way. Sorry about that, everybody. We had a little blackout for a second. Hope you weren't just sitting there in silence.
Oh, we're good. I
Yeah,
think
but
so.
that's really all I had for like the tax thing. I hope that it gave some of you an idea of really where the taxes are going, what the issues we run into when trying to figure out. Sometimes we make too much money and they don't know what to do with it. So, have you had any word from your area over in Sandoval, like any issues like this happening?
None that have, kind of that I'm aware of, to be honest. It's something maybe I should look into, but hadn't really heard of any kind of we don't know what to do with this funding in my area here.
But yeah, that's all I had for the tax thing and everything. And I'm actually probably going to end it on here because we're having so many issues right now. But I'm glad that I got to have you on here, man. And like I had one more topic to talk about, but that's something that we can cover another time. It's just us talking about how the state kind of messed up the Cannabis Regulation Act, and we're going to have to probably go back and change it. But next year's a 30-day session, and it's a little bit harder to change laws and everything when it's a 30-day session.
Yeah, absolutely. Those 30-day sessions, I remember just kind of waiting for years to get a recreational bill passed through for that reason. So maybe something that might be addressed at some point with our legislature. I don't know.
Yeah, and doing 30 during a 30-day session, it makes it so hard because they only have 30 days, and usually on the 30-day session, they're just working on the funding and everything like that for the state for the year. The next year it will be a 60-day session. I have more hope for that, but if all of us kind of band together, we could be able to get something passed within that 30-day session. So, but anyway, I really appreciate you having me, you coming on and everything, man. And, Gino's kind of messing with the computer, but
Yep.
we're going to shut it down early today, everybody. Sorry about that. We'll be back again next week with a full episode. We just missed one topic today. I'm just glad we got to talk about you and, everything about Dutch Bliss and get the ice cream stuff out the way, man, because it's so cool what you have going on.
I really appreciate that, Chad. Like, super cool for you to have me on here and give me the opportunity to talk about it. That was great. Thank you.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you, and can't wait to see what else you got going on in the future, and can't wait to have you on again. And I promise we'll have this, computer situation figured out.
I'm sure you guys will get it down there. It happens sometimes, right?
Right, it does to the best of us, man. So appreciate your patience and everything, man.
Hey, you're welcome. And just want to say a quick plug out for myself, Dutch Bliss drink mixes for the fall, guys. Add a little cup of hot water to the drink mix. Have a nice rosin infused beverage. Be on the lookout.
Nice, dude. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for that, and thank you again for being on the show. And do you want to get us out of here and do the outro?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, go ahead, man.
Sorry for the outro. Is there an outro?
Oh no, just say see you guys next week or something.
Where see you guys next week, and thank you for having me. Laters.
Nice, guys. All right, we'll see y'all next week, guys. Shoots.